Jeffrey Lyles. You are rocking with Lyles Movie Files. Little brother James is having some technical difficulties, so I am here running the show with the big man, Gunner. How are you today, sir?
What's good? How's everybody doing, man? What's going on?
Chilling, living the dream. Chief, what's up with you, man?
Everything's good. Everything's good, fellas. Good to be back.
Outstanding. Let's talk about a few things. I watched Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins today. Went to a screening, went down to D.C. Took me about an hour to get there. And I'm battling through traffic. And I'm going, this is too much. I may not make it to catch the beginning of this movie. I'm hungry because I didn't have any breakfast. I had a Pop-Tart. So I was like, all right, let me get to this theater early-ish so I can get some food from the concession stands, sit down, and watch this 2-hour movie. So I get to the movie with 10 minutes to spare. I go upstairs to the concession stand, and there is a kid field trip. So every line at the concession stand at, 12:50 is flooded with kids. And if you're in a rush, standing in a long line behind kids who are great and decisive decision makers when it comes to ordering food is not the move. So there's no food. And I was like, man, wow, okay, I'm going to be hungry watching this movie. So I watched it, and wow. I mean, I don't know how much money they paid to use the G.I. Joe license. If anything, if they paid a penny, it was too much. This was not Snake Eyes, this was not G.I. Joe, this was not Storm Shadow. I don't understand why these studios decide, let's use the name of something that people like and do something totally different. This movie would be like, hey, let's make a movie about Pac-Man. But instead of having him go through a maze, let's have him water ski. And instead of 4 ghosts, let's have it be 4 siblings that think he's made of gold that they want to sell to some foreign exchange diplomat. And that's the premise of our Pac-Man movie. That is what we get with this thing. Where you're just like, hey, let's just use the random names from popular pop culture. Oh, Snake Eyes, Baroness, Storm Shadow, Scarlet, Heartmaster. Great. I think we've got a G.I. Joe movie here. And they don't understand anything about G.I. Joe. It's like watching, I wrote in my review, this is like watching a Captain America movie if they decided to make Captain America a Hydra agent. I know that sounds crazy and wacky. Who would ever do that, right? But that's what this movie would be like. Like, they totally misunderstand the whole dynamic of Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. By the end of the movie, I'm rooting for Storm Shadow. I keep wanting to say Snake Eyes because by default, watching a movie called Snake Eyes, I should be rooting for Snake Eyes. That's not the case in this movie. I'm 100% Team Storm Shadow. Even though his action figure comes with a ninja mask, he never wears said ninja mask. He's just like, hey, what's up? It's me, Tommy, chilling. This movie is just another exercise in frustration for G.I. Joe fans. G.I. Joe Retaliation still remains the high water live action mark film because that one really tried to do some G.I. Joe stuff. It just ignored basic stuff like putting Jinx in a red outfit and putting Cobra insignias on all kinds of things and giving Flint a beret and a black shirt and some shotgun shells. I mean, but for the most part, they had some aspects of G.I. Joe down, but man, this one had none. It was just like, yo, let's just throw anything out here and hope for the best. Why is it so hard to do G.I. Joe? Jace, little brother, I think you're on here. What do you think?
I think what makes it hard for studios to do a real G.I. Joe movie is they think they have to reinvent the wheel. It's just like you have like a lot of source material with a bunch of army guys, just make them have their own unique personality. You don't have to make vehicles the thing. Don't make them like the first G.I. Joe movie. You can make Cobra bad, but you can't make him like wipe out half the world in the first part of the movie. kind of got a ransomware, hiding Cobra, that kind of, hey, if you don't do something, we'll set off all the oil in the East Coast, like kind of bad versus, hey, we've taken out Paris, Moscow, and we're just going to go to a secret prison to drop me off versus, all of y'all need to be executed in public in TNT so everybody feels better. I think the other thing is that they don't want to have these they're almost like wrestling. They don't want to create stars out of something that can be easily create star properties. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's a mess. Gunner, if I say G.I. Joe, what comes to your mind?
Tanks and, guns. A lot of people missing. Cobra versus G.I. Joe. Aircraft carriers, airplanes, freaking bases, high-tech bases. You can update that. What high-tech was in the 80s is different than what's now. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like, the Fisher dude, what's his name? Shit,
Shipwreck.
I forgot his name. Shipwreck, man. That's what comes to mind. Shipwreck, man. And then even if you go to, like, that secondary, newer cartoon, some of those characters were kind of cool, too. I'm like, come on, man. Throw them out there, like, Flint, Duke, Cobra, la, man, dude getting stabbed with the staff, something, man, just remake the death. How about remaking just the cartoon into a live-action movie, frame by frame?
So you got too far going Cobra, la.
That shit was great.
It was great for a moment, but man, you can't turn Cobra Commander into a snake. He was once a man.
That shit was hilarious. I was like, they turned this man into a snake.
Hilarious.
Keep in mind, that summer I watched that with my dad. We had just finished watching RoboCop, so we went from like a literal rated X movie to G.I. Joe, where my dad was like, thank God this ain't gonna be that violent. Oh shit. So, like, dude got stabbed with the staff in the cartoon.
Dude, get a coma. Sorry.
And I was like, oh, I can't win. And before that was Action Jackson. So I'm like, my dad was like, forget it. You're already a lost cause. It's the 80s.
It's a wrap.
So that's what comes to mind, man. I don't understand why they gotta do all this weird stuff. And I think we talked about this with other shows like Boomerang, like the TV show Boomerang, where it has nothing to do with Boomerang. Maybe a name here and there. It's like, just rename it something else. Don't try to attract the fans that are fans of something that's you don't even have a source material from. Feels like they did that with Snake Eyes, man. I'm like, this looks like 100%. A Ninja Gaiden movie plus maybe Ninja Assassin.
All they had to do was call it something else.
Yeah.
And I feel like it would have been a 5 out of 10. Because the movie's just bad, just with the general setup. But when you slap on G.I. Joe, you start mentioning Snake Eyes, I have certain expectations. And I feel like anybody who is a G.I. Joe Real American Hero fan is going to go in with some expectations. Now, they may have been tempered and killed off because of the first two films, but they're thinking, okay, maybe now they've figured it out. Maybe they understand what we want in a G.I. Joe movie. Chief, what do you want in a G.I. Joe movie?
Lots of Cobra, man. Want somebody to scream Cobra. Cobra! You know what I mean? Deathstroke. Cobra Commander. Who was the little? He had a little evil female with him.
Baroness, man.
The Baroness, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I will say this part about this movie. The actress, I think her name is Ursula Corbano. She's excellent. Like, if I could take one piece, like if I was taking Loki variants, this would be a variant from the G.I. Joe movie universe that I would take and put into mine, because she's so good. She somehow manages to put a protective barrier over herself like Lady J while she's in lava, and manages to escape all of this foolishness. And she comes out so clean, like, man, this is Baroness. I want to see her in a movie, in a real G.I. Joe movie, with the silver-plated Destro, wearing a helmet, not some nanotech mesh mask, just a helmet that he puts on and off. And with a big chain and like half his chest out, like, yes, I've been pumping up. What do you want? And a big, thick red collar, just to be like, yeah, what? And I got rockets on my arms, and I've got grenades on my arms too. You don't want any of this.
Okay, could you really do that outfit? I mean, it sounds just hearing it.
Nah.
Sounds what
You can update it. You can update it, but just have the silver helmet. That's all you
If
need.
you did that in a movie, if you showed the Destro that I described, G.I. Joe fans would be like, yes, I'm there. And if you got 95% of G.I. Joe fans out to see a G.I. Joe looking movie, you would have a hit. But when you start going, let's make G.I. Joe more realistic, you've already lost half the battle. And
I know.
now you know. All you have to do is just go, you know what, who cares? It's about these guys. I mean, one guy is running around with a bird mask on. Another guy has a pet eagle. Another guy is a mutant ninja with a pet wolf. I've already lost this fight with realism. I'm just going to embrace it. There's a sailor with a talking parrot. Who cares? I'm just going to go, oh, wait, they're twins, and if I punch one, another one gets knocked out too? Who cares? I'm just going to go along with it. You know what Kevin Feige didn't do? Hey, a guy in a metal suit? I don't think that's going to fly. Literally. Let's make him drive and call that his Iron Man suit. His car can be his suit. And he'll be Iron Man because he's running around in a red and yellow car.
Jeff,
That's more realistic.
Do you work for DC?
No, because I would be getting fan mail and hashtags from the audience and saying, that sounds like a stupid idea, I won't do that. So no.
Then you continue to do it after getting the fan mail.
Right. I'm going to just keep doing what I want to do. But that analogy is what they do with this G.I. Joe movie. They strip everything that's G.I. Joe from it. Like in the movie, it's like you've seen this part in the trailer, I'm not spoiling it for you. He gets a helmet that forms the visor. And there's no purpose to a visor. Why does he need a visor? It's just like, yeah, the fans will love this because that's what it looked like in the cartoon comic book and the toy. But if you don't draw that connection to it, I'm going to cry, you're pandering. And I don't want any parts of it. Give me a movie that's based off the cartoon and comic book. One or the other. And you got my money. And I will tell everybody, this is a G.I. Joe movie worth going to pay your money to go see. This joint has me going, why can't you do G.I. Joe right? You don't have to worry about the superheroes flying around. You don't have to get the CGI right for the capes. You don't have to worry about how bad the Steppenwolf alien design looks. You don't have to go back and fix it. You don't have to do parademons that starve and eat on fear. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to do a magic lasso. You don't have to do somebody running in slow motion to show his super speed. You don't have to do any of that. It's just dudes running around in like maybe a black shirt, maybe a green vest with his marine tattoo shown. That's it. Or a camouflage shirt and a chef who likes to rhyme. That's all you got to do. It's almost too simple to mess up, and then make it look easy.
The funny thing is, I think you said it right. If you just cater to G.I. Joe fans who are now in their 40s, 50s, late 30s, a large majority, let's say, have kids. They will take their kids to see it. You can just slap a PG-13 label on it. You can say, we're not going hardcore. We will bring our kids and all that other stuff. Easy. And we might even go see it again with the guys who like G.I. Joe, just to go watch the G.I. Joe movie instead again. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just want one studio outside of Marvel to be like, here's the licensed property, and what we're going to do is just treat it like what we saw, why we decided, hey, let's make a movie of such and such. Like, if they just did that one time, I bet they would make so much money, they'd be like, yo, why don't we just do this all the time? I feel like Marvel Studios got that answer, and then was like, I can't believe everybody else is so stupid that they don't want to try this. But they continue to do so. Hey, Chief, let's talk about studios that are stupid and don't want to do stuff. I was on Twitter on Saturday, and, you know, it's kind of like a weekly thing now. There's a hashtag, Save Gotham. And I was like, what's this about? Is Gotham City being rewritten by Brian Michael Bendis into like an underwater place because he doesn't understand that Batman's place is like, you know, I hate that. I hate Brian Michael Bendis anytime I get an opportunity to trash his lame writing. I will take it. Superman should not reveal his secret identity. It's just stupid, okay? And don't age his son just because you don't know how to rate toddlers or preteens. Alright, so Save Gotham was a hashtag about saving the Gotham TV show. The fans were on Twitter. The joint was trending. Let's put Gotham back on HBO Max. Let's get it going. Let's see the continuing adventures of that cast because we love them so much. Chief, why do DC shows, why do DC movies need hashtags for, like, yo, this thing that we enjoy, can we get more of it, please? I'm not yet.
Did y'all love Gotham?
I did actually.
So were you sad that it ended?
I mean, it was 5 seasons, so I didn't feel like, oh man, it's too fast to end this thing. I felt like I got a good amount of Gotham based off the crap that I'm getting now from The Flash.
So would you want 5 more seasons on HBO Max?
I would, after seeing some of these other shows, I would happily take a couple more seasons of Gotham. Because Gotham knew it was crazy and just roll with it.
Why not?
Dude, I guess they were just like, you know what? These other shows are whack. Let's have some more zany fun like Gotham. Because Gotham plays by its own rules.
Gotham's been on for what, 2 seasons now?
It may have been even 3. It's been a second. But the fans are just like, we need some quality shows.
That just sounds crazy, you know what I mean? You know, it's a little late. I mean, just like Lucifer. It was going off the air or whatever. It has ended. That's when all the stuff came in for it. Like, you're asking, like, everything's in place. These actors, when a show ends, a lot of times these actors are not doing anything for them. Just, you know, a quick second. Now, 3 years later, you know, some of these people are doing different projects, so on and so forth. Like sometimes if you want a show, you got to push for it right as the ending is. You know, call Netflix, put them enough petition, blah, blah, blah. Netflix puts up shows.
Well, the Gotham case, Chief, I think what happened, that fan base saw, hey, Zack Snyder's fans were able to get the Snyder Cut released. There wasn't a platform like HBO Max when Gotham wrapped up. So if y'all are putting all this other stuff on HBO Max, why not put on a show that people actually like as opposed to random new show?
But on the flip side of that, there was a Snyder Cut. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not hiding more Gotham shows like that they're not putting out. You know what I mean? They just need to be edited and done. Like, you still got to bring back the cast.
Or Dewey.
Right. The little boy, he's 3 years older now. There's a gap. You know, people die. I mean, it's just, you know, listen, I watched Gotham for a little while. 4 seasons. It's just like anything else, man. For me, at times I get bored, and then I stop watching for a while. You know, like if you're eating, let's just say, a hamburger every day, and then someone says, hey man, you know, try some chicken. So I'll put this hamburger aside, I'll eat some chicken. Eventually I'm gonna go back to hamburger, but in the case of a show, by the time you go and take a bite out of it again, you're 8, 9 episodes down the line, you have no idea what the hell is even going on. And so then you just lose interest in it altogether. So I like Gotham, but at the same time, I just think 3 years, unless you get some kind of incredible push online, we're talking about, you know, a couple million people, I think you lost your chance with that. I just think that you have to do it as the show is coming to an end or the show is ending. You have to make that push. You have to say, hey, listen, we need another network to pick it up. We need such and such. Because things happen at that time. 3 years later, you're asking, especially a DC executive, to go find numbers. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they can't find a number in their iPhone, let alone somebody from 3 years ago looking back up trying to put together a show. So, yeah, I just think that, I think there's a certain time limit on things. And I think Gotham...
All right. Okay. I got you. All right. Speaking of shows that probably need to end, The Flash had its season finale. And this joint featured, I'm going to just say these 3 words: lightning lightsaber battle. Gun at the top of your face? Yes. It was a real thing. It happened. And I'm watching my screen as this takes place. I'm like, what in the entire bluest of blue L's is happening right now? Entire blue wells, I could say that. Yeah. Why is this happening on my TV screen? Why, it's never a good thing when you're watching a movie or a TV show and you can imagine the writers sitting together in the writer's room sharing an idea and, oh, that's so amazing, yeah, and you're thinking, it's the lamest thing ever. And then they went ahead and shot it, and then they did like another round of takes, and then they added the special effects, and everybody who's involved in this is like, this is so cool, and I'm like, no, I don't know how much time you spent, but this is a bad idea from the jump. These Jokers, and then they bring out Reverse Flash, and he is like, we're teaming up with Barry to take on Godspeed. And I'm so confused because I'm like, Barry, why are you bringing Godspeed back? I mean, why are you bringing Thawne back? Why? And you powered up Godspeed. To get these powers, did you not need your worst enemy to take care of? And these Jokers have a lightning lightsaber battle. And I don't know what's going on. Huh?
I was going to say, don't we have a Speed Force trap that we can put speedsters in when they go a little too rogue?
I mean, I felt like when speedsters went rogue, they had those speed demons or death flashes coming to change up. And they haven't been around. They didn't come after Barry when he started, like, I'm going to go to the future to see my 1 in 9,000 variant of potential future Nora.
Okay, at the very least, the rogue, not drone, not real Speed Force, which shouldn't have been able to get into the Speed Force. Gunner, if you haven't seen this, it makes absolutely no sense. As the look on your face like, none of this makes sense. It doesn't. Supposedly, Godspeed's created by an artificial Speed Force, but that technically is exactly what Barry is created by, because he made his whole first part of his season about him making an artificial Speed Force to make the forces, but we forgot about that, and then we're going to use the non-artificial Speed Force that Barry can now transfer to other people like it's a CD drive to other people. I'm sorry, flash drive for everybody who has no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Then now he doesn't know how to get rid of the one dude who actually is Godspeed, but we know he is Godspeed because the main villain. Actually, for a whole season, we need to introduce 3 episodes into the whole season.
It wasn't 3; it was like 6. But who cares? Because they did a terrible job.
Again, we've seen Godspeed like peep up throughout all like the last 4 or 5 seasons, but they actually at least introduced the guy who was Godspeed. But then here's our great solution. Let's give all the Flash family the Speed Force. You get a Speed Force. You get some Speed Force. You get to be a Speedster. You get to be a Speedster. And
including Iris. Don't forget Iris.
Oh no, Iris got some Speed Force. Jay got some Speed Force.
Again? Wow.
Shazam. This sounds like the ending of Shazam.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, this sounds like Shazam. Which makes sense.
No, it doesn't, because Shazam was actually good. But it's big ending.
Yeah, and it was very much like, this made no sense. And then you're like, okay, we're going to bring back, it's just that, we're going to bring back Thrawn. And
not Thrawn. Thrawn would have been cool.
Oh, yeah, Thrawn. Hey, he would have actually strategized, like, why are you guys...
Oh, no.
But
He brought back... Who did they bring back?
Thrawn.
People like Thrawn.
Real Thrawn? Wells Thrawn.
Well, that's Wells.
Wells Thrawn is now real Thrawn. But they brought him back, and their logic was they needed a wild card, but how many wild card speedsters you have can handle this? Hey, how about Kid Flash? We don't know what the hell he's doing.
Kid Flash would have been an actual wild card.
Kid Flash is getting his hair done.
I was going to say, he's getting the perm. I was literally about to say that. I was like, Kid Flash getting the perm somewhere.
Yeah. I didn't even think about this till right now. The end of the daggone episode, brother/friend, not actually, who literally can come from any part in the world or time and anything, doesn't happen to get an invite to their wedding.
let's go into that in a second. But first,
That's so annoying.
so
Just recast
Thawne,
him.
so Thawne, that's what I'm saying. It's just at this point, if old boy does not want to come back, that's fine. Recast him and Ralph. You spent multiple seasons developing these dudes' arcs, so you like wasted time on these characters who never show up when they should show up. They made Ralph this important character. Now he's just vanished, and they call in Sue to do ninja moves because every woman on the CW verse can do ninja moves. And then Kid Flash, who is like the second most important speedster in the whole darn universe. They're just like, it's alright, whatever. We don't need him. We'll just bring in Bart and Nora and Jay and Speed Force.
Where's
Nora.
Jessie Quick?
Dude, she's dead, maybe. But I mean, that was one future. Because in another future, maybe she's still alive. They're just breaking all the rules with who's dead and not. So who cares? But yeah. And so the deal with Thawne was, we'll bring him because we know Thawne will let anybody kill Barry but him. Like, that's stupid logic. And then why did Thawne try to kill him? And he was like, sorry, dude, I got an upgrade. I'm faster now. No explanation as to how he got faster. He's been,
okay, I'll give this. He had been training for years without Thawne's help. But again, Jeff.
What's Thawne been doing?
Can we actually really delve into how stupid it was? They just whooped out Speed Force lightsabers. I don't think you have really just gotten how stupid it really was. They had no training. They literally just all of them just randomly whooped out a Force lightsaber and started having a duel. Like it was like literally the end of Phantom Menace. Like these guys literally were fighting with lightsabers. It was like
I felt like they did a rip-off of Duel of the Fates in there. Maybe I was just imagining it in my eye roll moments, but I felt like when Godspeed did a little flip in midair, I was like, am I hearing Duel of the Fates? Because I want them to see. I want Lucasfilm to come after him. This is enough ripping off. And then they were like, yo, this is the best sequel since Empire Strikes Back. And I'm like, you should stop mentioning Star Wars right now because you're going to get sued. So yeah, it was terrible. And then they decided to kind of redeem it a little bit by having Iris and Barry renew their vows. And no one who mattered anywhere else showed up. So any other character like Camilla, Cisco's girlfriend, who's just the city away apparently, couldn't come through. Ralph couldn't come through. Sue didn't come through. It was just only the people who were right there at that moment. And it's just like, hey guys, what's up? And no, we don't have any scene stealer crashing the wedding, which was awesome.
What did I say? You saw me. You know I was about to say that. I was like, so when are they going to have an actual wedding? Yeah. Because without Felicity and BS and the whole situation, they still didn't have like a wedding with just them.
Yeah, that sucks.
But
and another reason to loathe Felicity. But you will make sure that you need to watch this one, Chief and Gunner, because Bart serenades them.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
Jace had to go get some Kleenex.
He's literally canceled. He's out.
He's done. He's had enough.
Turn the camera off. He's out here.
Yeah, it was not good. But yeah, that was the deal with Flash. So
not only did they do all of this wackiness and then everybody knows how to sword fight with lightning and all this shit, they still managed to have a singing episode.
Well, it wasn't an episode. I mean, they had a.
I mean, singing within the episode.
Jace got a little choked up. He said the song was good. I was like,
it was a nice.
What was the song?
It was a nice song for a series finale. Unfortunately,
what was the song?
Still going.
Once,
like, okay, wrap it
up. Twice, 3 times a lady.
3 times a thirst trap. No, sorry, that's
Lord.
Totally different.
Are we sharing screen and recording? Because we can.
We're not. We are not. Yes.
Lord.
To go to that island, Bedrock. All right, so.
Bedrock, yes, sir.
Yes. And then I forgot Kristen Kramer realized she had powers. So, oops, sorry that I've been trying to go after everybody with meta powers. I've had to change my heart because now I have powers. And oops, I'm leaving to figure out my life. And I guess Joe's back to being the police commissioner.
How the hell did she not
Wait. I was waiting for randomness to happen seasons ago. So after all these seasons, they finally wrote her off again?
No, Kristen, not Caitlin. Kristen is the federal agent who was down on metas and wanted to give them this injection that would potentially cure them or kill them. And she was like, super, I'm down on all these metas. I'm after Killer Frost. But hey, she helps, so now we can give her a part. It's been bad writing with her character, and now she's gone because she has the same affliction that she gave everybody else. So it didn't work out too well.
Of course, she could actually just give herself the daggone cure if she so hated it. But again, it was like, hey, how many times has she supposedly been around magic metas that she didn't magically pull a Peter Petrelli from Heroes and absorb a power or two?
Hey, Peter Petrelli was from that one good show, that season, that one series that NBC canceled after one season, Heroes?
Writer's strike destroyed that show. You know that.
I know. Yeah. And Ali Larder is apparently trash, but yeah. Okay, so moving along. In the Heights star, Leslie Grace is going to piss off a certain demographic because she has been cast as the new Batwoman on the HBO Max Batgirl. Did I say Batwoman? Batgirl in the Batgirl series on HBO Max. Diversity continues to rear its head, and certain people are not going to be happy because Barbara Gordon is a redhead. Darn you. I don't understand. You've already got black people in movies. Why do you need another one? And she, even worse, she's Afro-Latinx. So stop with the diversity. This is, you woke millennials are just messing everything up. Did I hit the bingo?
Anybody in Puerto Rico, you can have red hair. Shit.
Did I hit the bingo of racism and troll comments?
More or less, yeah.
I probably did. What do you guys think about this? We're going to have a Barbara Gordon who is not white.
It's fine, I don't care.
Chief, you care whatsoever? Are you excited about some more diversity in the DC universe?
Is the show going to be any good?
All you care about is Man of Steel 2. I see that look in your eyes.
It ain't going to be good, though. That's the thing. Is the show going to be great? Like, we'll see. I don't know. Like, how far are they taking this Barbara Gordon version? Is she going to go from Batgirl to Oracle back to Batgirl? Like, what's poppin'? Birds of Prey? Real Birds of Prey again? I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know how DC's going to fuck this up. So
I think that's the real thing here. Like, how can they mess it up? And which ways will they do it?
But I think Leonard said it right. How are they gonna? This is.
You know, the real issue that I'm having is we keep getting all this stuff from Marvel Studios. They're like, yo, we've got more animated stuff coming outside of What If. We may have some movies coming on the animated side. And if Marvel Studios actually gets the animated movie side down, I mean, what's left? We got our boy Josh Segura from Arrow, you know, Prometheus. He's going to be on She-Hulk, Jace. That's exciting. I'm down for that, and he's the bad guy even better. So, yeah.
Listen, Marvel would be doing all kinds of, like, people didn't like, what's her name? Jessica Jones, right? But that first season, they snuck in Nuke. Like, you were like, oh, wait, that's Nuke. Sneaking in enemies because they can, and who cares? Like, but it was still good, and you just forgot. And I'm just like, DC can't even get a hero right anymore. Like the main characters, they just don't get it.
You know the one thing they can't get right? Superman and Lois. That show, I don't know if they just opened in a special gem of Krypton encased platinum. Because nothing can touch it. It's so good. Chief, we just watched that last episode. Not the last episode, but the last episode that we watched was the big flashback where we got to see Clark create his Fortress of Solitude, meet Lois Lane, and then realize his half-brother is screwing with his life and checking out his highlights to figure out why in the world he chose these stupid humans over him. Why is this show so good, man? I mean, it just keeps delivering every episode after every episode. What's the magic formula?
The writing's good, man. The writing's good. The plot makes sense. What Superman can do makes sense. people who are connected to the show, the other people in the show, have a purpose. You know what I mean? It's like when you play that video game and it's just people walking around and you can't really talk to them. It's just, you know what I mean? And you can't interact with those people. People in Superman and Lois have a purpose. They have lines. The kids are there. They're not just, they're the kids fighting. The general, he has a line. He does his thing. Lana and her husband and their daughter, they do their thing. There's like people, there's plots within plots. I mean, hell, Jor-El, who is not even a person in the show, it's just a hologram. Jor-El is doing his thing. I mean, everybody is doing something in this show. Like I said, and then you don't get the cheesy graphics. You don't get it's not a whole bunch of silliness going on within this show. You know, so I think that's why we're entertained by it. It just makes sense to watch it. It's, you know, at this stage in the game, still has to make some sort of sense. And I understand we're watching superheroes fly through the air, but you know, physics count. You know, if you throw somebody into a house, they're gonna go through the house. It just doesn't make sense. Some of these shows, some of the things they do. Decisions in this show make sense. Like, you know, you see, you know, sometimes you watch a show and you're like, that didn't even make sense, that decision. So that's why Superman and Lois works. It's a combination of everything coming together. You know what I mean? To make something good. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like making lasagna. It's layers, and every layer counts. You know what I mean? And at the end of it, when you pull that shit out the oven, it's delicious. And that's what Superman and Lois is. A good damn plate of a lasagna made with love.
Made with love. That is the big difference there between so many of these other shows. All right, one last thing I wanted to talk about on this one. Kate Beckinsale said in an interview that she is still hoping for an Underworld Blade crossover movie. I mean, that would be fun. So I put it out to you guys. What crossover, it can be comic book or whatever, what movie crossover, unlikely as it may be, would you want to see?
Right. I would like to see G.I. Joe crossover with Transformers.
And we should let Michael Bay direct it. That way we could get a good G.I. Joe movie because he focused on the Joes instead of the Transformers. Win. I like that idea, bro.
How about Superman versus the Legion? Man of Steel versus the Legion of Doom. That's as far as I need it crossed over.
That would be a crossover. DC gets some credit.
Oh shoot! But yeah, man. I don't know. Can we still do the Hulk? Is the Hulk still in there?
Whatever you want, man. It's wide open. It's your scenario.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'd like to see maybe the Hulk get with a DC character. You know what I mean? And they just go tear some stuff together. It's just one of those, you know. At this point, man, especially because I mean, damn it, Marvel is handling it so well, though. You know what I mean? So when you think of DC, you're like, what's really good in DC? Shazam and who? You know what I mean? Aquaman, Wonder Woman's out. They done, you know what I mean? They done kitty littered Wonder Woman. You know, it's getting harder and harder, man. It's I don't know, man. I feel like even when we watch Marvel, man, like we were talking earlier about the Kristen Ritter or whatever. all that, those four things of Daredevil, the black dude,
Cage.
white dude,
Season 2.
right, all of them got together and they intertwined. So, like, everybody was a part of everybody's world, even though everybody had their separate. I mean, I'm just frustrated, man.
We just went on mute and vanished all at once. All right, Gunner, you got one yet?
Yeah, I got some. I want to see John Wick and the Bride, Uma Thurman.
Oh, that would be money.
Kill Bill 1 and 2. The late David Carradine somehow in it. You know what I mean? With all the people from both, not all the people, but yeah.
There we go. All right, I'd pay to watch that one.
That would be hilarious.
I think I have two. One would be the Resident Evil characters from the animated movies and Walking Dead. Because I would like to see some competent zombie killers on the loose and not people arguing about philosophy. They're just like, nope, shoot them in the head. Let's do this thing. Let's keep moving. And my other one, which probably would have been a little bit more timely had this franchise kept rolling, I would have liked to seen some mashup of the Expendables and the Fast and Furious crew. Like maybe the Fast and Furious crew has to hunt down the Expendables, or the Expendables are hunting down Fast and Furious crew, and
yeah,
and we just have them.
I don't track them, kill them. Wait, what? Family.
Exactly.
Family.
I want to see that. Vin Diesel squaring off emotionally against Sylvester Stallone. Let's do that thing.
The voices for that scene just made my head kind of explode, but I still kind of want to hear it.
You need to see a picture. You just see you just hear the sound effects. So, we're family.
We're family.
I mean, honestly, you get a good Sylvester Stallone running towards Vin Diesel. Hey, man, tickets sell themselves.
Absolutely.
That really would be cool. I tell you something you already know.
I haven't watched the Expendables in too long. I know they have like a catchphrase that I would use.
Can I throw a TV show out there?
Yeah, why not?
Two TV shows.
That's the Resident Evil, so go for it.
2 TV shows I would love to see a crossover from is Big Bang Theory and Happy Endings. Those 2 crews be freaking hilarious.
I'm with you on Happy Endings. I'd like to see them. I'd just like to see them back.
Yeah.
But see, the only reason I would not want to see Big Bang Theory is because we still only would have one black guy.
Season 1 through 3.
Did they have?
Yeah, you still only have one black guy.
Yeah. So that would
be sad.
It really is. Like, gosh, that's the reason I watched it.
Well, I did pick a CBS show, so there you go.
There you go. Maybe we should pick the Neighborhood. That we have Cedric the Entertainer. Never mind. I don't even know the name of that show. All right, fellas, it is that magical time of the week. Do you have any nominees for Dummies of the Week? Jace, are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
Go for it.
I try not to mess with, people above my pay grade. Ha ha ha. But I'm going to go with the Dummies of the Week, or whoever is trying to host the Olympics this year, because they basically have decided, all right, we don't need fans. We like these people who typically have a whole lot of sex not to have sex in their dorm rooms. And don't let that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no problem.
Basically, they just kind of figured it out there. It's like 2 more weeks before it's straight up real Olympics all in, and then half the U.S. gymnastics teams basically tested positive. It's just getting to the point, it's out of hand. You need to kind of say, hey guys, we once again can't do it Olympics. We need to scrap this. We know we put all this promotion and money into all this, but can we get a do-over in 2022 at the earliest? Because this ain't going to work. So, whoever's not part of the Olympics is my dummy of the week.
Good call.
That's real.
Gunner, you got one?
Nah, other than Rand Paul.
Okay.
Trying to go toe-to-toe with Fauci, which is this, Muhammad Ali said it best. It's a really great. It's like a huge expert against a very, very good amateur. like why? Like just the thought of that happening in my lifetime is hilarious to me. And that happened like today or yesterday or some shit. I was like, Rand Paul just for even trying it.
That was a very good case of somebody. I did my own research versus somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. But I look on YouTube. No, you ain't got a chance. Get out of here.
Get out of here. My nominee is Jeff Bezos for thanking Amazon workers for working so hard to get his sex toy into outer space.
This dude looked like a dick twice in one day, dude. That shit was
He was like a dick riding on a dick going to space. So, yeah, it really makes me wish there was something else besides Amazon that I could get my packages delivered in less. Because, you got too much money. And I think we need the lawmakers immediately to start charging these jokers $1 billion more in taxes. Because if you got enough money to go out to space, you need to get taxed more. And provide your people health care benefits. So, yes, that's all from me on that.
Oh, and don't forget, those rockets are being blasted off and landed in opportunity zones that are meant for minorities and whatever, so it's also government-funded. And, hey, shout out to Van Jones, though, for, proving that I shouldn't be working so hard. I just need to be cooning to Whitey on the moon. Shout out to Gil Scott here.
Chief, you got any nominees?
Megyn Kelly. You know what I mean? Like, the girl is a sports person.
Naomi Osaka.
Right. So why can't she be on the cover of Sports Illustrated? Like, it's so much hate. And then, people who aren't sports people, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why people just don't shut the hell up, man. Like, because you can speak doesn't make you an expert on anything. You know what I mean? And sometimes sometimes you should be talking. Sometimes you're talking when you should be shutting the hell up. And we've all done it, but we don't do it to that degree of these people, man. They are constantly agitating everything. And I just didn't see the need to criticize the young lady for being on the cover. And and I'm glad she got back at her and put her in her place. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that when you speak directly to people nowadays, those people can talk directly to you and sit you down. Because, you know what I mean, she needed several seats, and they were handed to her. So, but yeah, she is my dummy of the week for sure this week. Top dog.
100%. Hey, remember that second when Bombshell, the movie, came out, and they tried to make Megyn Kelly sympathetic? I was like, no. Here's my no thank you ticket. I'm going to cash it in right now. I want no part. I
turned that bitch off so fast. I was like, yo, meaning the movie, not her. Sorry. But whatever. But I turned that shit off like so fast. I was like, this is, oh no. No. Look, she is nowhere near the lesser of the three evils, and even still, I shouldn't be watching this mess. Exactly. Goodbye.
Hey, kids, just remember, kids, Santa's white, okay? Just get over it, okay?
I gotta love her. Or not. Alright, fellas, well, thank you as always for rolling with me. Thank you all out there for listening. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.